And we are back with our last match of the day, second to last match of the entire tournament, our semifinals match between Notorious and 60 Hertz. And once again, Breeze has been banned, as per usual. We'll be playing on Bind, and I'm interested in seeing how these teams play out. They both beat their respective opponents in their quarterfinals pretty dominantly, 13-5 for Notorious against the Promised Land, and 13-6 for 60 Hertz and Blanax. And let's go and see each of the players' individual stats. So as you can see, 60 Hertz is quite heavily filled with Sovas, although they have seemed to manage to get past that, whereas Notorious have a more balanced team. 60 Hertz does have the rank advantage, but both teams seem to be relatively similarly matched. Although it is a little concerning that one of the players on Notorious has a 28% win rate, but that probably shouldn't matter all that much. And yeah, as we get into the match, we can start to see the players' picks. There seems to be a little bit of conflict over who should get Jet, or they think they're playing replication again. But it seems as though the Jet is going to be on both sides. Seared Halibut this time opting for Arena instead of a Phoenix like the quarterfinals. They seem to also be wanting to bring a Cypher, an Omen, and a Sova, which is heavily intel based, although no healers on their side. Bind is a very good match. Bind is a very good map for ciphers, and I'm excited to see potentially two ciphers battle it out against each other, as we've been primarily seeing Killjoys in this tournament. Kazi will be hovering over the Viper, as this is a very good map for Viper, especially if they make good use of the teleporters with their walls. We can see that the defenders opting for a Sky, or someone decided to leave, and our match has been partially delayed. We have lost a player, but their team comps do seem to be relatively set in stone. Yeah, and I'm all alone now because Drayton decided to leave me. He has his own things to get to, so I'm all alone here by myself. And it seems as though the player who has left is restarting. His mic is apparently not working, so it's going to be a bit of a pause before we get into the match. Surprisingly, this is the first time we've seen Bind be played today. It's one of my favorite maps, just because of the ease of rotations and how aggressive I like to play on it with Phoenix. And our fifth player has rejoined the team, and our match once again be starting with the operator select. Kazi once again going for the Viper, and it seems as though the team comps are going to be basically the same as what they were before. Seared Halibut once again on the Reyna. Kyoshi is hovering over the Cypher, meanwhile Burnt Nugget is going for the Killjoy instead. We have fairly different teams this round. We have the Sky with the flashes on one side, whereas we have Sova on the other. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how these two teams are going to play out. Notorious will be defending first, and it'll be interesting to see how the Cypher is going to play on attack. 60 Hertz all start filing towards the B, going for the classic B rush. Meanwhile, Burnt Nugget is getting ready, setting up on the site with all of her utility. She is opting to only buy utility and not buy any gun or arm, which is very common amongst Killjoys and Cyphers, just because of how useful their utility can be, especially on defense. And it looks like there are going to be 2 players head towards mid and... Sorry, 3 players head towards mid and 2 going long, going for a split push. The Viper decided to put her wall up in B only, which is interesting because Kazi is playing on A. And 60Hz have managed to gain control of Hookah temporarily, but they are deciding to back out just because they are predicting a huge stack, especially because of the Viper wall. So far, no damage has been traded just yet. And Pyro is rotating back to A site, anticipating the rotate from the attackers in order to help out Justin Bieber and Kazi. All the attackers except for Clue are waiting in short, getting a quick kill on Cairo. Getting the plant down, Impulse able to kill off Justin Bieber after they kill Yoshi. Seer Halibut taken down by Kazi. And then Clue is able to trade it back. Spectra blocking off the U-Haul. The Pain can't get through. And Burnt Nugget and Burnt Nugget and Pain finally go down to Impulse and Spectra, and the first round goes to 60Hz. Perfect execution on the A. They correctly rotated away from B after noticing a stack, and we now have a timeout for 60Hz, which seems to be a Discord issue. The Flu has once again left the game because they are unable to connect to Discord apparently. And we will seeing how Notorious responds to this very quick attack. Justin Bieber seems to have bought themselves shield, so is Pain, and immediately sells it again. But 60Hz look to be buying light buy with Notorious almost full saving. Hopefully Clue will be able to come back once again. Instead of Discord, I would suggest Google Meets, Skype, FaceTime, all that good jazz, Zoom. Hopefully they'll be able to resolve the situation. As you're looking to set up a wall on B, all the way from A. And it looks like a mainly B push with Seared Halibut lurking on A. Maybe to try and fake it out or something. Maybe get a cheeky little flank going on. Yoshi clearing out Hookah. Get the Killjoy back to site. Pyro's rotating back to try and help Burnt Nugget. Justin Bieber noticing the commotion on B, rotating to B, trying to provide some extra support, and out they come. Impulse immediately killed after dashing out Hookah. Spectre able to trade back. And Cairo just sitting in the smoke, waiting for the opportune time. Gets spotted out by Spectra. Unfortunate timing. And they now have control over the site. Plant will be going through. And Kazi's pushed up very close, but shut down by Spectra. Justin Bieber taken out at the last moment. Hopefully they'll be able to do something with the newfound money that they've gotten now, as they will have the gun advantage, rifles versus SMGs and 2 rifles. Spectra on a rampage, going 5-0 within 2 rounds, already having their ult, and this time they look to be eyeing up A site. Somehow Burnt Nugget has predicted that they would come here and has also rotated over here. Nice one away from Kazi, could deny a potential push from Showers. The Sova drone coming out, missing the dart, but still getting some valuable intel. that there are 2 people holding that and that they will rotate all the way back to B. Pyro and Pain have not rotated off this site since and are expecting a rotate from 60 Hertz. Pain prepping the flash. And Spectra smokes. Pushing, prompting the potential rush. Here Halibut taking way too long to kill Pain, and as a result being traded out by Cairo. And Impulse jumps onto the site, killing Justin Bieber. Cairo stuck in elbow with Burnt Nugget and Kazi following closely behind in CT. Cairo finally taken out, and most of the attackers seem to be backing off into CT. Burnt Nugget and Kazi now on site, trying to clear out the last 2. The Brimstone ult comes out, buying them a bit more time.
Last player standing.
But Spectra just absolutely mows them all down, going 7-0 with a perfect ult to deny the fuse. And Notorious is going to have to try and find some way to beat 60 Hertz, as 60 Hertz is slowly accumulating more and more money as Notorious is forced to half buy. Stuck with Sheriffs, a Marshall, and a Stinger. They are opting for a 3-stack on B, which could prove beneficial as 60 Hertz do have more players, as well as a spike towards that side. As the gang tagged once, as they try to peek. Cairo actually hitting Impulse with a Marshall shot, knocking him down to 39 health. But 60 Hertz still are eyeing up B, and it seems as though it's only Burnt Nugget and Justin Bieber waiting for them. Viper wall going back up, making it harder to push, as Clue slowly inches up long, providing 2 angles of attack, grabbing the ult orb. But after some careful decision, they decide that this is not for them. Seared Halibut has been staying here this entire time, making sure that they have clear line of sight onto A and know what they're rushing into. Maybe not expecting the peek from Kazi. As Pain gets the info and headshots Seared Halibut. Now 60 Hertz have to push this site, they're running out of time. Jet dash into U-Haul quickly, but the 49 health is going to be deadly. Pain was flashing out, going to try and deny the plant.
Spike planted.
And kills one of them. And they finally take out the other 2. Finally, Notorious win a round and are able to get back at 60 Hertz. Thrifty for them, and also a flawless, as they do not lose any guns and instead get to take the guns of 60 Hertz. Now 60 Hertz in a position where they aren't able to fully buy. Some of them are going to be missing out. But they're gonna have to make do with what they have. Notorious getting ready to prevent 60 Hertz from retaking the round. Ozzy immediately ulting off onto B site, as if anticipating the push to B. Clear out Hookah, and they now notice the Viper's ult is at B. And they're going to try and rotate to avoid that. By doing so, they're running into three agents on A. One of them being Killjoy, who could be hard to deal with. And they once again double back to B, where Cypher has been on the site this entire time, And as I say that, gets taken out by Pyro. Kazi sitting patiently in the smoke. Sorry, Halibut sitting patiently. Getting the kill on Cairo, and Impulse is aggressive, killing Kazi, knocking out the Viper and preventing the ult from continuing. Only Justin Bieber and Burnt Nugget left, both in CT.
30 seconds
as
left.
the plant goes off.
Planted. Got one.
Halibut not able to get to continue her ult. Clue nearly hitting Justin Bieber in the eye with that arrow, as the Killjoy ult's going to come out, which could deny any defuse denial.
Alarm bot.
As they start to defuse, they're supposed to tank. They
One
fake the
enemy
defuse.
remaining. Last player standing.
They trade with their utility. Justin Bieber able to take out Clue with the blast pack, but Clue striking back with the shock dart, denying the defuse, securing another round win for 60 Hz. Both teams are actually, no, as I say that, Notorious seems to still have enough money in the bank to full buy this round, as well as an off on Cairo. But 60 Hz suffered too many losses from that previous round. As a result, a little poor. They decided a power push would be beneficial. And as they wait for the smoke to clear, Clue sends out a drone. And they immediately back out because they realize what they are dealing with. During this entire time, Cairo and Burnt Nugget have stayed on B site. They haven't moved an inch. Cairo holding that long angle with an op, expecting maybe the rotate, which has happened already many times before. The arrow alerting Clue of Cairo's location. Cairo's unable to retreat back in the site. Impulse taken out, while the rest of the team, while the rest of the defenders rotate back. Plant will be going down, but the nade might be enough to take him out. Pain rushes hard. Is all down to Kyoshi, who denies the defuse, but finally gets taken out by Kazi. And it's going to be a save for 60 Hz as they cannot buy. They spent all their money in the previous round. Only one sheriff, 2 frenzies. Meanwhile, Notorious get to keep their guns.
Need a drop. Thanks.
It seems as though 60 Hz is going for more of an A push. Cairo spotted out with the op in showers, and yet 60 Hz still decides to push through.
Launching smoke.
The push through, they don't get anything, but they still get to. They still prevent the attackers from pushing through. And once again, it seems as though the attackers are rotating out of A. Well, Spectrum might get caught out here. The timing is just too perfect for him. But he is going to repeat. Baits out the off shot. Cairo is slow to react against Kyoshi. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Halibut gets caught lurking and taken out.
Screen down.
The attackers decide to rotate all the way back
30
to B.
seconds left.
Except for Kyoshi, who decides to lurk just a little bit more to distract them, hopefully. Seems as though Justin is falling for the bait and remaining on A. So she able to actually take out someone on A.
10 seconds left.
And realizing
Blinded.
just how little time they have. And the plant is denied. The Molotovs from the Killjoy were too much for the attackers to handle. $60 now, still with not enough money to fully buy, yet they're going to try and invest it all and take back this next round. Impulse opting up. Impulse just rebought his Spectre. It's still gonna be a tough fight. Earlier into showers as Kazi puts up a one-way into showers. Notorious just really do not like to rotate too early. They're very cautious about how they act. They realize that 60Hz is a team that really likes to take out the opponents. And yet 60Hz is still trying to push towards A. Although they might wisely now decide to back out. Notice how Pain is just holding mid at that close angle, waiting for the rotate from Seared Halibut. 2 shots onto the Spectra. Pain gets the catch. Pain catches Seared Halibut off as they push into showers. Impulse is caught off guard by the smoke, by their own smoke. Yoshi is only good for 1. Is straight out by Burnt. 4 health on Spectra.
Last player standing.
And it's all down to Clue.
Spike
A Spectre and a Dream. 13 seconds into the spike as he gets naded out and eventually taken out by Cairo. And the scoreline is even finally. Notorious might have a chance at taking the lead in this after 3 rounds in a row won by 60Hz. 60Hz really struggling to manage their funds well enough. They haven't been able to have a full buy round in like 4 rounds.
That goes there.
As Notorious just keep on stacking the money, counting the dollar bills. We see the 60Hz opting for a more default position, being more spread out, although they do seem to be more focused towards B. Pain able to flash out Seared Halibut and get the kill.
Spectre out.
Spectra just taken out immediately by Kara with 1 shot, like an op. However, we do see Impulse lurking over at A site to see how that will turn out. Spike now stuck in mid. Clue and Impulse on opposite sides of the map, nowhere near the spike. Must now try and grab it or potentially save. And Clue's being chased down here by both Burnt Nugget and Pain, only good for 1. Finally, 60Hz have enough cash to fully buy. Impulse grabbing that off. Gonna try and maybe get an early pick out mid onto Pain.
Placing swarm grenade.
Or actually rotating towards A short. Sort of indecisive on what they're gonna do. Another default-ish push with the spike still in market. Pain realizes the spike is in market and He's going to try and secure it. The critical mistake made by 60 Hertz. Notorious now have control of the spike. And Burnt Nugget is rotating over to help them out. There's nothing Halibut can do. There's no one on the site anymore. Quick kill onto Spectra by Cairo, only for Justin to be dinked through a wall, reducing him down to 26 health. Nice shot by Impulse.
I have the spike.
But Lil realized there's a crossfire here watching the spike.
Goodbye.
Kyoshi able to kill to take out Justin.
Where is everyone hiding?
However, he's still gonna have to deal with Cairo, who's still on the site.
30 seconds left.
And also Pain and Burnt Nugget, who are watching over the spike.
Enough.
Halibut able to react in time
One enemy remaining.
and take out both Burnt Nugget and Pain. But will they have enough time to plant?
10
Cairo
seconds
should
left.
have enough time to deny this plant.
Last player standing. Clutch.
Cairo was able to get the 3K, closing it out, securing the 6th round for Notorious. What a comeback! They came back from 4-1 all the way to 6-4, 5 rounds in a row, and they still have not lost their momentum. 60 Hertz losing their buy round and going to have to save again with any hopes of winning the last round of the half and getting a 5-7 half.
Placing swarm grenade.
Seems that the sheriff squad is back. With four of them beelining at the B site. Pain is going through, is immediately taken out by Kyoshi by this big rush. 3 of them going from long. 2 people already on site. Justin teleporting from behind to flank. Impulse takes out Burnt Nugget behind the site. As 60 Hertz gains control of the site. Somehow they managed to get through this with only sheriffs and a Spectre. Now they've upgraded to 1 rifle and they have the spike down. 4 versus 3. They still only have 1 rifle, but it is a man advantage that is now gone. Result comes in hoping to take out an unlucky, unsuspecting attacker. Is unable to do anything.
Last player standing.
Blue caught off guard as Kazi rushes in and Spectra also taken out.
Last player standing. Clutch.
However, 60 Hertz is somehow manages to do it. The Molotov is enough to secure them the win.
Last round before the switch.
They finally have enough money to buy. They have the capability to make this a 6-all half. I think the first one of today. The first and maybe the only one of today. Excited to see how this plays out. As 60 Hertz gather around market. Kazi ready to preemptively ult and cut off A site. Impulse immediately taken out after rushing too much, traded off by Halibut who was ulted, and they teleport all the way back to B. Going to have to secure this site as Burnt Nugget makes their way to elbow.
There.
The Reyna ult's taken out by one simple headshot from Burnt Nugget. And now both teams are at a standstill. They're at a stalemate. Neither team moving. Spectra gets a kill onto Burnt Nugget. Meanwhile, Justin takes out Kyoshi. And they rotate all the way back to A site. Meanwhile, the Viper ult is still up here. This could be bad for Clue. Because there are two the Viper ult could
30
easily
seconds
deny
left.
the rotate in the plant. Clue making their way onto the site. Spectra being knocked down to 1 health.
Who trained you?
Yet still able to
enemy
kill one
remaining.
more. The ult goes down.
Last
It's all
player
up to Pain.
standing.
And Pain is able to capitalize off the
Now
reduced
there's
health
some
of Spectra.
serenity.
7-5 half for
Switching
Notorious
sides.
as Notorious begin their attacking run.
Spikes here.
Spectra showing some promise in this match, but not able
This is my
to
spot.
overcome the difficulties that is teamwork of Notorious. As Notorious look to be playing a relatively default play, gathering all towards market. It could go either way. There's a 3 stack on B with Cypher's traps. Meanwhile, all there is on A is
Smoke's down.
Tombstone and Arena sitting in heaven. Notorious decide to go for B. But 60Hz, the members of 60Hz make a fatal error in rotating their jet out too early. Impulse is left a little too early and is stuck in CT now. As Clue and Kyoshi wait for the push. Meanwhile, the spike is still at A. Kazi's in A. And the Spectra might rotate off of this if a lot of people push through B. Spectra not moving an inch, holding off the A site, making sure that they're not rotating. But they do see the wall come up. Halibut returns to A as Spectra continues to hold the angle. Runs out of ammo. Gets caught on the wall
Spike
and gets taken
planted.
out by Cairo really quickly. Halibut drops off from heaven. Pain taken out by Clue
Shock dart.
as the members of Notorious decide to hang back in A short, waiting to deny plants. Quickly,
Last
they
player
lose
standing.
control. Yet Burnt Nugget is able to single-handedly deny the
One enemy
defuse,
remaining. Clutch.
including getting 2 kills and forcing Halibut to die to the spike. Brilliant round by Notorious, specifically Burnt Nugget for just the placement of those Molotovs and the timing of them, stalling out just long enough for the spike to go off. Notorious is light buying a few Spectres, a Judge as well. Meanwhile, 60Hz is deciding they're completely safe. We
Revealing
see
area.
Notorious slowly moving towards Hookah. Pain trying to clear out Hookah with the dog.
Here.
Noticing the impulse sitting right underneath. Kyra missing the dash. Unfortunate timing.
Cage trigger.
Kyra traded. Pain knocking out Clue.
Spike
Kyoshi
planted.
able to get a kill on Pain after
Last player standing.
sitting on the tripwire for too long. And it's all down to Kyoshi. There's a Viper smoke on there as well as a Raze and the Viper watching it. Meanwhile,
Cage triggered.
Burnt Nugget is sitting in long, waiting for the defuse, waiting to hear that sound and succeed if Kazi fails. One health left. Kazi doesn't fall. Doesn't fall for a potential fake and knocks out Kyoshi. 9-4 for Notorious. I have noticed though, there is this little glitch that Valorant has where if Viper ults at the end of a half, her ult remains on the top. It still says that the ult is triggered, which I think is a bit of an annoying glitch, but it is what it is. Notorious maintaining that half by not spending any more money, while 60Hz full buys from all their saved money. This should be an easy win for 60Hz unless Notorious can catch them off guard with this 5-man push towards short. Impulse flanking around early, and then he's caught off guard by Justin. And they're now aware of the rush towards A. As Kyoshi and Clue rotate back towards A. Halibut having a little confusion in the smoke with some of the members. Spectre able to actually kill the planter, but not before the planter's off. Impulse managing to get a kill through the smoke. The 2-on-4 now.
One enemy remaining.
Right Nugget preventing the defuse of one, but unable to get the other 3. And it's an easy win. It's an easy round win for 60Hz, 9-6. But now Notorious have the funds. They can full buy all they please. And 60Hz is also dangerously low in cash. They don't have enough for full buy. 2 of their members are going to be stuck with SMGs.
Here.
Meanwhile, the attackers able to buy what they need to win the round. Kazi, who also ends up on this vector. They seem to be looking towards B. They do need to keep in mind that Cypher there. He places the tripwires in very awkward positions for the attackers. Specifically right on the ground.
Scout destroyed.
Could yield some kills for 60Hz if Notorious is not careful. Holding that long angle from CT, waiting for Notorious to push up from long.
Cage triggered. Tripwire destroyed.
The Viper ult onto the site, securing the plant. And Notorious now have the man advantage in a retake scenario. Impulse dashing off onto site early on, as well as the Reyna ult trying to secure kills, and it's now 3-on-3.
One enemy remaining.
All left to Jet.
One enemy
To
remaining.
try and deny a plant, gets the kill on one. Dashes out from the other. As this becomes a mad goose chase. Halibut actually running out of time because of this. Are we able to finish off Halibut for the 3K?
You guys suck.
We're stalling out the time by just simply running. Halibut couldn't really do much to stop it. They didn't realize that the Cairo was just running. Notorious inch closer to victory in a 10-6 scoreline. 60Hz losing all of their funds in the previous round for having to partial buy in this next round, saving up for the next round. Although Halibut
I've
is
got your trail.
deciding to use all of their money. As we see a full A rush come in. Spectra throwing down a molly early on to try and deny or delay the plant. Koshi actually able to kill Justin, but Kazi's still able to get the plant off. Kane holding a close angle in U-Haul, swinging just at the right time to get Koshi.
One enemy remaining.
Clue was able to get 2 with that, and it's just up to Burnt.
Variable removed.
It's Burnt left in a 1v3. There's nothing they can do to deny the plant. Oh! Actually kills the diffuser. But not enough to get the other 2.
It is over.
Clue manages to defuse it while Halibut takes out for a nugget. going to be seeing the reverse where 60 Hertz have the money to buy, and Notorious are stuck with pennies, buying up judges, inspectors. Op coming out on Impulse looks like they're going to be holding B. An aggressive angle from Impulse, looking to peek immediately out mid. This could be caught off guard, although
Spike down B.
does manage to punish Kazi for pushing too far up. Kyra tries to chase after Impulse to no avail. Impulse is already out of the hookah. So we're done to try and see just how many people are in hookah. They spots 3.
Molly.
4 players have rotated to B. And now Notorious rotate out. Oh, Impulse might catch an unsuspecting pain with the spike.
Spike down B.
Kyra able to pick up the spike while Justin valiantly tries to hold off the defenders on B site. Smoked off, they decide to rotate. Although Impulse predicts it and
30
rotates to
seconds
help
left.
out Halibut prepare for the 3-man rush that is about to occur. Unable to hit any shots, Halibut's forced to wait for teammates to arrive
Spike planted.
as the spike goes down in a 3v5 retake scenario. Spectral having 5 health, but still going very aggressively, pushing very closely.
Alarm bot down.
Nugget with his angle could be
Last player
deadly,
standing.
but the point is not the fuse is not denied, as Kyoshi is able to clean up Justin.
Was that important?
60 Hertz looking to come back in this matchup, although Notorious is now able to buy again. We could be having another very close round because of it.
Yes, this should do. This goes here.
We have an ult on Burnt Nugget, which could prove very helpful on any attack
That goes there.
that could
Ah,
deny
this is a nice
deny map control to the to the defenders, as well as a raise to help clear out the hard to reach spots.
Scanning ahead.
I was somehow not found by the dart.
Here.
They're unaware of the push into B. So she does begin to rotate, but a little too premature.
Shot that.
Clue is now the only one stuck, the only one on site, stuck on
You
stuck on
should
himself.
run.
The quick rail comes in. Clue, good for 1. For running off back into
Spike
CT.
planted.
So your Halibut teleporting back. Clue hitting a brilliant shot, a brilliant arrow.
Poison's gone.
Kyoshi able to get 2.
One enemy remaining.
Halibut is securing the 3rd, and now it's once again Burnt Nugget left over.
Terminated.
Fuse again, but unable to connect onto the Sova. 10-9 for 60 Hertz are coming back in
You
this round.
failed. Now sleep.
They also once again managed to save the op. And a timeout coming in for Notorious as they try and figure out a way to stop 60 Hertz's momentum. Seems as though Notorious is once again running out of money. They better figure out how to approach this. Maybe take the op off of Impulse early on and prevent retakes as much. They need to play more to the site and and deny the rotates early on. They don't have enough utility to do so. Viper should be smoking off the angles. Meanwhile, the defenders are doing a great job at retaking all the sites. All of their wins this half have been defuses. Means all they've done is retake sites. Same setup again from the defenders. Meanwhile, Notorious decide they're going to try out A. Hopefully they don't get caught out by Impulse early on, which could be dangerous. If Impulse can get a very early pick on, they might be done.
Launching
The
smoke.
dog does cause Impulse to rotate off though. Rotate off the angle. Halibut able to secure one onto Justin in the showers. For Nugget. Rush on the site.
Spike
Is already
planted.
planting. Halibut tricking their ult. So is Sova. Burnt Nugget once again backing off. Kairo's the only one left on the site holding this angle
Ground. Block the sight.
Last player standing.
before being taken out. As there's nothing Burnt Nugget can do to deny the defuse. 10-10, 600 have come back in this half. This is looking to be a very close match. Once again, the Sheriff Squad comes out for Notorious as they're unable to buy any decent guns. Pyro actually opting for full armor instead of a Sheriff and Light. Maybe to try and save up that extra money to get a rifle in the following round. Blue nabs the orb early on, explaining why he gets his ult so quickly so many times. Burnt Nugget lurking towards A. Might be caught off by Spectra. Rotates to the other side. Kyoshi jumping up and down. Impulse holding the angle on from heaven. Anticipating the Killjoy at the peak.
Die.
However, Burnt Nugget gets caught off guard by Halibut, who rotates all the way from showers. As Cairo is now having to deal with a three. Sir Halibut must deal with a 1-on-3 versus 2 sheriffs,
Down you go.
and the classic trades out with pain. Kazi's able to take out
Block the
Spectra,
sight.
and it's all down to Kazi and Justin to try
30 seconds left.
and win this round. They seem to still be going for A as they have no other option. Kyoshi is still staying on B, although he should be moving out shortly. Notorious realize they have no time to
10
rotate,
seconds left.
and so they rush on
One
the site
enemy remaining.
carelessly.
Spike down.
Clue
A.
trading, Clue trading, and the plant. And they run out of time, are unable to plant. One more round and it's match point for 60 Hertz after coming back from such a terrible scoreline. They've won 5 rounds in a row, and they seem to be unstoppable at the moment. Finally, Notorious have another bye round. But will it be enough to stop 60 Hertz? Impulse deciding to go for another aggressive angle in hookah, although there will be no one peeking there, as Notorious are once again pushing towards A.
Smoke's down. Molly.
You should run. I've got your trail.
Killjoy attack, Killjoy ult on A site is gonna force out some of the defenders, while the ones from B site rotate out. Say Viper ult as well. Just secures more and more map control. Especially able to deny the plant. As Spectra is ready to
Open up
Deny the plant with the ult. Able to take out Kazi and thus
Spike
the ult.
down A.
It's back to a 3 versus 3. Spectre has done so much, but they're all jumping through the portals, rushing onto B site. Making sure they secure the site before the defenders can rotate. Able to get an early shot off of Cairo. Justin able to protect Kane for just a little bit longer. Spectra and Impulse now left.
Last player
Missed.
standing.
1v2 left. Switches out guns. This looks like a lost round for Impulse.
One enemy remaining.
He's able to guarantee that Pain does not goes down to the bomb. But it's 11-all. Notorious managed to pull back one more round. Gonna be a really close game as Impulse once again pulls up the off, but 60 Hertz are also running on fumes. Spectra might not have enough to buy the next round. Meanwhile, 60 Hertz is slightly short on Cairo, but other than that, they seem to be
Scanning ahead.
ready for whatever comes next. Clue immediately recognizes that lots of people long.
Enemy
The
tag.
drone to investigate sees 3 and backs out. Gives up long. Spectra rotating back to rotating to B site. Give some extra boost and potentially deny more plants like they've done in many times in the past. Impulse and Halibut opting to flank around for market, potentially catching Kazi off guard. Spectra taken out early by the ult Justin Bieber, good for one. Pain taken out by Clue, who's melee trade again by Cairo.
Spike planted.
Halibut might not expect this
One
play by
enemy
Brent
remaining.
Nugget. Impulse able to get the quick scope, but it's a 1v3 against 3 people. Against
Yeah, lucky suck.
2 people down CT, the Jet and the Viper. And Impulse is expecting the flank, but not this close. Cairo takes out Impulse. And Notorious reach match point. The final
Match
round.
point.
If Notorious win this, they go on to the finals with Predators. If not, we go into overtime.
Thanks.
Both teams not having enough to fully buy in this final round. Impulse no longer allowed, no longer having an op. Instead, the advantage is going to go to Notorious with slightly better weaponry. Blue and Kyoshi rushing it down hard long to secure that orb. Meanwhile, Notorious slowly creep their way to B. As both the defenders on A site and B site realize that Notorious are nowhere to be found. They don't know where Notorious are. All they can do is just play the waiting game and wait for Notorious to show up or get aggressive, like Halibut is doing just right now. Spectrum might be caught off guard right here. They clear out most of sight. Clue only good for one.
Spike planted.
As the advantage goes to Notorious in the 4v3. Viper ults do a lot. The Viper utility does a lot to prevent the defenders from attacking. Only 2 left.
remaining.
1 left. Kyoshi left in a 1v3. He has to just. His game's flanked, and it's match. It's
Attackers
game.
win.
13-11 for Notorious. What a close match. They will be joining Predators in the finals tomorrow, and I wish both teams the best of luck. This is a great match between the two teams. Spectra, especially, I love seeing them using their abilities to deny plants. Burnt Nugget was caught in a lot of situations where they had to try and deny defuse, but it didn't go so well. However, it didn't matter in the end. Notorious wins out 13-11. And that is that for all the matches today. I hope everyone has had a good time watching these matches. I definitely have. This is my first time casting, and it was a great experience. And I hope that you all have a good day. Tomorrow will be the finals. Be sure to watch it between Predators and Notorious. And yeah, have a nice day, everybody.